Justin Roiland.
Hey, DB, I'm getting canceled.
Daniel. I don't know there, DB. I think that we have a chance at this. No, it's over, Morty. No, we're getting recast. No.
No. Oh, jeez.
Oh, jeez, Rick. What are we gonna do? Well, maybe we'll get some. Maybe we'll get recast. I don't know. Actually, okay. So, in all seriousness,
Yeah.
so Justin Roiland, one of the co-creators of Rick and Morty and the voice actor of Rick and Morty, has been charged with felony abuse in Orange County, California.
Yes.
And as a result, Adult Swim has ended its association with him. I think he either resigned or was forced out of his gaming company, Squanchy.
Ooh.
Um, that alien show he makes for Hulu, he's out of.
He's out of that. Yeah. Solar Opposites.
That's it. Thank you.
Yeah.
And basically, his creative life is over. He will still be listed as a co-creator in the credits of the show, but he's oot.
Yeah. Ninja Toast says, "I hate that sense of humor in writing." Yeah, it's yeah.
I got through 2 seasons and then said, this is just depressing and awful.
Yeah, same here. And then and D-Rhino says, "I'm shocked. Not really."
What, you mean that somebody who helped create and voice an awful human being like Rick and Morty, honestly, the longer the series goes on,
Oh yeah.
was himself bad? What?
Yeah, and and Dan Harmon isn't any better.
Yeah, I forget what Dan's been up to, but I remember it was noteworthy.
Yeah, he did well. Let's just say he did a bit with a baby doll, and I'm just gonna leave it there.
I remember that now, and I wish I didn't remember that.
Yeah.
So, if this was your favorite comedy, sorry, you'll get to get used to some new voices.
Yeah, and of course, I think Rick and Morty fans are they're gonna point to this and say, they're like, oh well, there are two eras in Rick and Morty: Justin Roiland, Rick and Morty, and then post Justin Roiland, Rick and Morty.
Right, just like how Family Guy enjoyers and Futurama enjoyers go, there was before they were canceled and after they came back after they were canceled. They're very different beasts.
Yes, and yeah, part of me, of course, wants to say, he has been charged, he has not been convicted, so of course, court of law, he's innocent until proven guilty.
Yep.
But at the same time, this is kind of one of those things where it's like, yeah, we can't have somebody like this, associated with our show. It's it's kind of like what we were talking last week with Jeremy Clarkson, although completely different things going on there. I mean,
right.
Jeremy
Saying
Clarkson
mean words is different than supposedly beating and trapping somebody.
Yeah. And so it's we talked about it, and like said before, we talked about it last week that we're not the biggest fans of cancel culture, but it's, to me, it's kind of a nuclear option, and in this case, I mean, it and we said it before, I'm not really at all surprised that this sort of an accusation is being made against Justin Roiland, because like we said, he created a really mean, awful character in Rick Sanchez, and it shouldn't surprise anybody that he's probably mean and awful in real life.
Right. It's just that is he just a cantankerous guy who doesn't tip his barista, or is he awful?
Yeah. There are varying degrees of awful.
I'll be very curious to see what they do. Here's the thing: if they hadn't canceled it for the, or if you hadn't been yanked for this reason, like let's say that, oh no, we're being canceled.
Oh, we're being canceled. Canceling. I'm the only person who. I'm the only one who should stand with a team.
Well, then go after Dan Harmon. Go after him first.
Yeah.
But now, the one thought that it did occur to me is that if he had, like, let's say that he had, God forbid, died in a car crash or something, right?
hmm
Um, and they had to recast. They would have had some dark fun with it, right? Like, just spitballing, play around with the current race bending in Hollywood and make them both black or something.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, have them be from the blaxploitation universe or whatever,
Right.
and
Yeah.
just end up there. Or like have them, yeah, like, hey, why is Morty Morticia all of a sudden? I don't know, guys. Yeah,
Oh, jeez.
and, and yeah, like just play around with the whole idea and just change the characters in some ways that's clearly visually obvious which
Yeah.
episodes you're in.
Yeah.
But I think that with as serious as this is, they're going to be more straightforward with it, and we'll just be like, it never happened. There isn't a Justin Roiland, and there never was.
Yeah. Yeah.
Except that he co-created the show, and then he effed off for reasons we won't go into.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. D Rhino asks, "Is this show full of?" Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I couldn't tell you because I stopped. I hit the end of season 2 and said, this is just sad and depressing. I thought this was supposed to be like Futurama, where it was like funny and lighthearted and ridiculous.
Yeah. But it wasn't that way. And hey Hex, good to see you, man.
Aw, jeez.
Oh jeez.
XL Comics.
Oh jeez. Hey, X.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
And as for the show being full of fetishes now, I couldn't tell you. Although, so fun thing I found out. You know who one of the primary writers of the Pickle Rick episode was?
Who?
Jessica Gao. Guess what Marvel show she made?
She
It
Hulk.
rhymes with B-Nulk,
Yeah.
attorney at Flaw.
Yeah. I didn't know. I did not know that.
I found out recently watching an Almighty Lowly video. It's like, oh, okay.
Oh god. Well, that explains everything.
Yep. So, we've talked before about how it seems like comedy is kind of on the way out in Hollywood. I wonder if like the fact that like shows like Rick and Morty are what's acceptable as comedy now is like it's just absurdist meanness. Wow, we're
Yeah.
getting a lot of people in here. Hey, Indie
Oh
Wrestling
yeah.
Aces.
Hey, Ace, good to see you.
Yeah.
Huh?
So I think we've exhausted this topic here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, geez.
Oh, jeez.
Speaking